In a world defined by who has power and who doesn't, what happens when those lines blur? When, unexpected connections form between people on seemingly opposite sides?
Yeah, like, can someone seen as ordinary actually hold the most extraordinary kind of strength?
Exactly. And can the person with all the obvious power show, well, surprising humanity?
That question really gets right to the heart of the dynamic we're looking at today. We're diving into a section of this really compelling book.
We're pulling out the crucial insights, the surprising details, trying to understand this world that's split by ability, by status.
And the individuals who are just trying to navigate its dangerous currents. It's intense.
He really is. And as we explore these characters and their world, we want to invite you to take the analysis even further with us. You should check out our YouTube channel, Mindful Moments.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Use AI analysis on books like this one there, offering deeper reflections, exploring themes.
And it really encourages your own critical thinking about the ideas we're talking about here.
It's a great way to keep the exploration going after our conversation today.
Absolutely. So let's unpack this world. Let's start with Peyton.
Okay.
Her life is, well, it's set in Loot Alley. It's about as far from the palace glamour as you can get. Survival is pretty much her only goal.
She's a thief, right? That's how she gets by.
Exactly. But she's got this secret, something hidden deep down. She's psychic.
But not in a flashy way. It's more subtle.
Right. It's sensing and reading emotions, which in her world is a survival tool in itself.
You can really feel the weight of her life there.
Yeah.
It's so precarious. And her relationship with Adina, her friend.
Yeah, that grounds her. But the constant threat, just being an ordinary Emilia, someone without the big recognized elite powers, it's dangerous.
She carries her father's ring, too, that silver ring, a constant reminder.
Yeah, of loss, of where she comes from. And then from a totally different universe, almost, you have Kai.
The prince. The future enforcer.
His job is literally enforcing the laws that oppress people like Peyton, banishing ordinaries. He's got immense power and elite wielder ability. But you sense something else there, too, don't you? Like an internal conflict.
Definitely. Especially with his father, the king. The book hints at a really complex, kind of messed up relationship there.
The training, too? Harsh doesn't even cover it.
No. Forcing him to climb trees when he's terrified of heights, that tells you a lot about the pressure he's under, the control.
So these two worlds just collide. And it's not pretty at first.
Not at all. That first encounter we see, Peyton tries to rob him.
But it's not just random. She's using everything, isn't she? Her street smarts, her observation.
And that psychic ability, that feeling she gets, she's sizing him up.
She notices things most people would miss, like the tan line where a ring used to be.
Yeah, the fact he moved it, how disheveled he looks, the smell of whiskey. She puts it all together.
With her psychic sense layering over it.
And she figures out incredibly personal stuff. He was married, misses his ex-wife, isn't being looked after. It's like the book says the evidence was written all over him.
It just shows you how sharp she is, how capable. Out of necessity, really. Totally. And that attempted robbery leads straight into an alley fight. Kai uses his power against her naturally. He's an elite wielder.
But then things get weird. A silencer shows up.
Right. These rare people who just nullify elite powers. Suddenly, the super powerful prince is vulnerable.
And Peyton somehow ends up kind of playing a role in how that shakes out, maybe even helping him in a strange way.
Which leads to their first real conversation. He's trying to figure her out, calls himself curious about her power.
But you can tell he's calculating, testing her.
And Peyton, she's all survivor mode, gives him that careful answer. Just a psychic sense.
And the banter starts right there. That spark.
Oh, yeah. He uses that term darling. Kind of charming, kind of condescending.
And she shuts it down. Instantly. Peyton, not darling.
It's small, but it's huge, right? She's refusing to be dismissed, even by him. And you see Kai, he's intrigued immediately.
Oh, absolutely. That back and forth is electric. It hints at everything bubbling under the surface. And then, boom, they're both thrown into the purging trials.
Yeah, talk about high stakes. This brutal competition, life or death, basically.
And for Peyton, being suddenly dropped into palace life, the luxury, the danger, it must be jarring.
Completely. And the trials force them together, force interactions. Peyton's immediately a target for some, like Blair, just pure hostility.
But then you also meet Kit, Kai's brother.
Kit's interesting. He's got charm, yeah, but there seems to be something more genuine there. He actually says he wants to understand the kingdom better, you know?
Wants to see my people start deciding what I think is best. That feels important.
It really does, especially later. And then there's Jax, who seems to really look up to the princes.
The ball scene is another big one, shows the tension perfectly.
Peyton doesn't just fade into the background. That silver dress.
A statement. Beautiful, bold, not blending in.
She partners with Kit, which you realize is kind of strategic.
But the main event is her dance with Kai.
Oh man, the tension there. You could cut it with a knife, which is funny, considering.
Huh, right. And their conversation, it's not polite chit-chat. It's all layers, threats, challenges.
Yeah.
Fascination.
She literally tells him, "Mark my words, Prince, I will be your undoing." Just like that.
And his reply, "Oh, darling, I look forward to it. It's this dangerous game they're playing."
And then she tops it off, pulls the knife on him, holds it right to his throat on the dance floor.
What a move.
Yeah.
The ordinary thief showing the prince she's not messing around.
It's powerful. But then the book shifts things again during the Whispers trial. They end up in this survival situation together.
Forced partners, almost. Relying on each other.
And this is where you see Kai doing unexpected things. Acts of kindness towards Peyton. He finds her hurt, delirious.
And he doesn't leave her. Which, for the future enforcer, that's surprising.
Totally. He actually cleans and stitches her wound himself.
And she asks him, right? Like, why are you doing this?
Yeah, she's completely confused. He kind of deflects, but then he asks about her life. About Loot Alley, about home.
And she shares a little. About her dad, Adina. It's a rare moment of connection.
He protects her too. There's that mention of wolves. And Peyton, she's watching him, you know, using her senses, both psychic and just plain observant.
She starts seeing past the title.
Yeah, she senses guilt in him, worry. She starts to think maybe despite everything, he actually, for some reason, cares. That's how the book puts it.
And we see his vulnerability, too. That fear of heights his father basically beat into him.
It just builds this connection that completely messes with the easy labels. Thief, prince, ordinary, elite.
Yeah.
It's way more complicated.
Messy, confusing, and really dangerous for both of them.
So then, moving on, Peyton gets involved with the resistance.
Right. She gets recruited, and her task, it involves Kit.
Yeah, and that's where it gets morally tricky. She has to use Kit, manipulate his trust.
The same Kit who seems genuinely interested in doing better and seeing his people.
Exactly. He confides in her about wanting to see things for himself, decide what's best, and she uses that vulnerability to get access to the palace tunnels for the resistance.
It's a tough spot for her.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Kai, his feelings are still all over the place.
You hear him talking to Kit about her, saying stuff like she's got this sort of fire, and admitting he wants to know her for longer.
The attraction, the confusion, it's all still there, even if the trial is getting more brutal.
The tension just keeps building. You have the maze trial, which ramps things up.
Leading to that explosion in the pit.
Oh, yeah. The resistance attacks, they use silencers. Chaos everywhere. Elite power is just gone.
People are fighting, confused. And Jax, poor Jax gets seriously hurt.
Yeah, Kai is devastated, desperate to help him. But the real climax, the huge turning point, it's Peyton and King Edric.
Her motivation is so raw. It's Adina, her father, all the ordinaries crushed under his rule. Revenge.
She feels totally powerless for a second, but then something shifts.
And the king is just arrogant. Until the very end. Dismissing her, calling her weak like her father.
Threatening her, boasting.
But Peyton, she does it. She kills him with her father's dagger.
It's this act of vengeance, completing one cycle, but maybe breaking a bigger one, ending his tyranny.
Those final thoughts. This is for my father. And then just pure, raw defiance. This is for me, you son of a bitch. It's powerful.
The immediate aftermath is just stark. Peyton's shaking, shocked, tears, utterly overwhelmed.
And Kai sees it all happen. He's right there. You can almost feel the war inside him. Grief for his father, but also whatever complex thing he feels for Peyton.
He raises his hand, knife shaking, but he stops himself. He doesn't attack her.
Just the image of the king's body. The dagger. It's chilling.
It is. And thinking about that moment, it really makes you reconsider that scene in the garden after the ball.
Oh, yeah. Even though it happened earlier, it feels like it sums up their whole impossible situation.
Totally. The rain, that stolen moment, their conversation, Peyton feeling freer outside.
And Kai's saying these intense things, like he never really lived before seeing her, that he only has eyes for her.
He gives her that flower, the forget-me-not, remember who I am to you, he says. The meaning behind it.
And the closeness, that almost kiss. It hangs in the air.
until reality crashes back in, an Imperial Guard interrupts. Then the king himself.
And his words about Peyton, just brutal, calling her his pretty new toy, saying he might enjoy killing her in the next trial.
Oh, it's just this brutal reminder of the forces working against them, the danger surrounding any connection they might feel.
Absolutely. And the book leaves us with Kai becoming king, alongside Kit, both grieving, facing this totally changed kingdom thanks to Peyton.
It's quite an ending to that section. What a journey for both of them.
Yeah, from opposite sides of this huge divide, forced together, hating each other, or thinking they did.
To these moments of shared survival, unexpected kindness, vulnerability.
Building this connection that just shouldn't exist in their world.
It really makes you think about identity, doesn't it? It's so much more than your label, ordinary or elite, or your power level.
Hayden's hidden strengths, or her psychic sense, yeah, but also just her grit, her loyalty. They're incredibly powerful. Maybe more so than the flashy stuff.
And it challenges all those assumptions, you know? Can a prince feel trapped? Can a thief spark a revolution?
It shows that connection, real human connection, can find a way even in the darkest, most messed up situations.
Yeah, it really can.
If you want to dive even deeper into these themes and characters from the book, remember to check out our YouTube channel, Mindful Moments. There's AI-driven analysis and reflection waiting for you there.
And you can find more conversations like this one by exploring our podcasts wherever you usually listen.
If you enjoyed exploring this book with us and Peyton and Kai's story, please subscribe so you don't miss what we tackle next.
Yeah, and maybe share this episode with a friend, someone who loves complex characters and stories that make you think.
You can also find a link to purchase the book itself in the show notes if you want the full experience.
And here's something to mull over as you go about your day. In your own life, are you maybe overlooking hidden strengths in others? Or perhaps even in yourself?